We're going to talk now about sex and pregnancy. Can you do it? Joining me is Shan Boodram, who is, of course, expecting her first baby, and Natalie Preddie, who just had her third. My goodness, I don't think I've seen you, Nat, since you pushed out your newest little ting, and I can't wait to meet him. But first, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with, is it safe to have sex, continue having sex throughout your pregnancy? We all know you got to talk to your doctor, and usually they will give you the go-ahead if everything is okay. But let's talk about the benefits, because there are benefits, right, Shan?
Of course there's benefits. There's always benefits to orgasm and to sex. It helps to reduce stress. It can help to improve your sleep patterns. It can help to regulate your heart rate. And especially during pregnancy, when your mood is up and down, it can also help to regulate your mood in many ways. Now, mind you, with all of the benefits, there are some downsides, especially if you're going through the first trimester, a la nausea, just even third trimester when you get into the aches and the pains. And so you have to do the weighing scale. There's always benefits, but sometimes the cost is too high during pregnancy, and we have to understand that.
Nats, you already had two little ones running around while you're pregnant with your third. Yeah. And so I am going to assume there was some exhaustion involved in this pregnancy. Did you find sort of changes in your libido during this pregnancy?
Absolutely. You know, like Shan said, first trimester, the nausea, you know, I'd literally just lay on the couch and my husband would move a bucket around for me. But second trimester was great. I had loads of energy. You know, we were in the middle of a lockdown, but, you know, I was still spending time with my kids and with my husband, and I felt fantastic. Third trimester, yeah, I was just exhausted by that point. I had the aches and pains. You know, the relaxin had hit and my hips the ligaments were pulling apart, and it was all just painful, and I was grumpy and tired and definitely did not want sex.
I hear you. I mean, it's probably like the last thing on your list. So Shan, let's talk about this. What can you do when you just don't feel like doing it?
Get a vibrator. That's been my go-to. I'm in third trimester right now. I'm about 2-3 weeks from being due, and for me, it's just I need something quick to give me the mood boost. Of course, as well too, I know it's healthy for the baby. And as you hit week 37, it can actually help to aid in the natural processes that are already at work to help you give labor. And so it gives you the uterine contractions. If you are having sex with somebody who does produce semen, the prostaglandins can actually help to aid the cervix in relaxing. So there are benefits to doing it with a partner if you can, but if you can just get to the orgasm bit of it, a great shower head, a great vibrator, something that just takes a few minutes of your time and you can get into the perfect position. Because the thing with sex is it takes two to tango. And so as much as your partner probably is very empathetic, they don't necessarily understand that, like, hey, after 30 seconds, my legs die in that position. I have to switch constantly. But I know that. And I'm a great sexual partner for myself right now, and I indulge in that.
Yeah, because you know what you need, and you know how fast you need it, and you know how to get there.
Very fast. That's the answer. Let's go.
So I want to talk a little bit about positions, Shan. What are the best positions if you're pregnant for sex?
Spoon is a great one. From behind is a great one. On top is a great one. But I want to talk about a tool that has made a massive difference to me, and I know a lot of other pregnancy people can attest. So a lot of people probably have the pregnancy pillow for sleeping, which is great because it allows you to get into that fetal position and, of course, stay on your side, which is the safest when you are past, you know, second trimester and beyond. But the one thing that you need is the wedge pillow. So to be clear, the pregnancy pillow is for sleeping and the wedge pillow is for sexing. It allows you to be a lot more comfortable. It allows you, if you do want to be on your side, for example, but laying flat actually, you know, initiate some form of heartburn for you. Now you can be on an incline. If you do want to do from behind, now you've got a soft place to land into. And of course, too, you can rest your elbows against it. And if not the wedge pillow, then just pillows, period. Having lots of tools for comfort is essential because your comfort is the most important thing.
Okay, Nats, for you, since, you know, there were times where you were feeling super sick or just super tired, what did you do to keep the intimacy going and your relationship away from full-on sex?
There are still a few things that you can do. to make sure that we were both, getting what we needed during that time for the exact reasons that Shan mentioned. But also as we got later in the third trimester, it was something that I thought, come on, this is gonna induce labor or help me get closer to having this baby. So I kind of, bit the bullet and did it anyway. And because it ends at orgasm, it's still nice. It's still great.
Yeah, totally. And I remember that near the end of, like, my first one didn't want to come out. So it was like, let's do this. We're having sex. I'm eating spicy food. We're going to do everything. And we're going to be like, check off the list to get this child out. I remember a friend told me that her husband didn't want to do it because it's like, there's 3 people here and I'm feeling a little awkward about this. I don't know if I'm hurting anything as I penetrate.
Don't flatter yourself, honey.
What should you do in a situation like that? Do you just look for sort of alternatives so that you're both comfortable? And either of you can answer this one.
Nat, I'll go with you first. We did this 3 times.
Well, by the 3rd, he was over it, but he's like, I know what's happening. But yeah, with number 1, we did have those conversations. But you know what? As we went through the pregnancy, I just tried to educate him as well as to what was going on. And this is what's happening to my organs. This is how I'm growing. And this is why it's safe. And eventually he conceded. I didn't have to twist his arm. But of course, it's again, you do things that that the other person likes, and whether it's then using hands or mouths or your vibrator or whatever that may be, I think for us that's what worked.
It's all communication and it's all conversation. I just want to end by talking about when to avoid sex. And Shan, is there anything you want to add to that?
Discomfort, pain, bleeding, obviously, recommendations from your doctor. It's just, sex is still supposed to be something that you do for you. It's not something that you do for the baby. You do enough for the baby. I'll repeat that again. You're doing enough for the baby. So if it's not bringing you joy, making you feel comfortable, it's not connecting with your partner, it doesn't feel like something that you see any benefit to doing, you don't have to force yourself to do it by any means. You're doing enough.
I love it. Anything you and your partner decide works is the thing that you should do. I love that. And congratulations to both of you. And thank you for your candor. Thank you, Shannon.